All right, Cowherd, is AFC North football dirty?
No, I think people are confusing physical with dirty. What Gronk did this weekend, that was dirty.
Agreed.
Okay, Gronk was dirty. I told you, I'd have suspended him multiple games. Is SEC football dirty? No, but when I watch Bama Auburn and Alabama LSU, that's intense. Don't confuse intense and physical with dirty. Bill Laimbeer was dirty. Karl Malone was physical. Okay, there's a big difference to me.
A huge difference. I want to go really big picture, and I'm glad Ray's here. AFC North football is the Ray Lewis, Dick Butkus division. It's the most physical division in all of football because of what Ray and the Ravens established in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Ray and them came in with that defense, and you had to react to it. Marvin Lewis was the defensive coordinator, and you know how Cincy reacted to it? Let me get Marvin Lewis. Teach us how to play the way the Baltimore Ravens play. Then Mike Tomlin comes and joins the Pittsburgh Steelers and Dick LeBeau. And he's like, well, the only way to survive in this division is to meet the physicality of Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens.
Exactly.
It's the most physical division in football. Sometimes the Steelers and the Bengals get dirty. They did in a playoff game a year or two ago, and it was a disgrace. Monday Night Football, there was one dirty hit, in my opinion. Iloka in the end zone out of desperation.
To me, that wasn't dirty. That was illegal, not dirty.
I think the Juju hit illegal, not remotely dirty. If I'm a coach, I'm patting him on the back, and he never buys a drink in Pittsburgh ever again. But it's the Ray Lewis division.
Yes.
It's not a dirt.
What you're basically saying is there is a culture. Listen, in the SEC, Steve Spurrier was an exception. But mostly, can you run the football, and are you good in the trenches? That's Southern college football. When Chip Kelly came out to the Pac-12, everybody started saying, make your linebackers smaller.
Right.
It's a track meet. That was the culture that was created. I agree with you. I think he helped create a division. It's cold weather. It's sleet. It's rain. It's physical.
Me and ED was just talking about this. Do we understand physics in football? Eddie George is 245 pounds. I'm 250 pounds. Eddie George running a 4-4 at me, and I'm running 4-4 at him.
Yeah,
that's not ending well.
No.
That's just not ending well. But when you talk about, I'm listening to the game, and I'm hearing words like disgusting and this and that. Gruden, stop that. You coach John Lynch. You coach one of the hardest hitters in football, tone setters. And that play that this safety made in the end zone, that's a tone. Me and ED was talking about it.
Yeah, the physics of it, it's just too hard to change direction.
You can't change direction. Once we take off as a defender and AB grabs the ball, sees the defender, and ducks, he ducks into my target zone.
And remember that Ioka is not looking at AB to hit him. He's looking for the ball, right?
Yes.
He's trying to make a play on the ball. So in the last second, he has to change direction, redirect, and try to dislodge the ball. And do you think he's aiming for his head or the ball to get the ball out? Now, as he compacts himself, now the target is lower. He gets hit in the head. And that's why I'm saying judgment. Think about what a player's trying to do. I don't think it's a dirty play. Is it an illegal play? Yes, they've said it's an illegal play.
Right.
The crackback block, they're trying to take that out. I get that. I understand you want to throw a flag on it. Is this dirty? No. Football, defensive football, when it's played properly, it's going to hurt. People are going to get hard hits. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Do I think that's dirty? No. Do I think the league suspended people because of dirty play? No. They assessed a stupid tax. That's what they did. They were like, guys, we can't keep having all these penalties and personal fouls and everything. We understand you guys are physical, but we don't want, and it's because of what the announcers were doing. We don't want to hear all of that.
By the way, this was a standalone game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Shazier, terrifying early injury.
Terrifying.
The tone from the announcers was, okay, we could have a paralyzation situation here. I think that set the tone for the broadcast
For everything
crew
else to be sensitive.
to be, let's just slow down. The game we're all terrified here. And I think it changed the game.
But we're all here boxing fans.
Yeah.
Right.
How many times have you saw Sugar Ray and Hearns fight?
Love to watch it.
Yeah.
Why do you love to watch it?
Because it's
The brutality.
Because
Yeah.
the brutality
Yeah.
of it. They're going to give you everything they got.
I'm not going to let Gruden and McDonough off the hook because, again, I'm going to say this, and I get Shazier put everything in a bad spot. As a viewer, I was sitting there. But when they're paying you the money that they're paying you to broadcast these games, you're there to handle the tough situation. They don't pay you because, when the game's easy to call. They pay you all that $6.5, $7 million is because when the stuff hits the fan, you can handle that. They handled it poorly. To me, tried to demonize the Bengals and the Steelers, and it just was wrong. There was, to me, one dirty hit. There wasn't extracurricular fights after tackles and plays like that. There weren't coaches on the field. That game,
Even a Juju play, if Juju doesn't stand
If
over
you don't
him,
stand over him,
there's nothing.
that's
you
it.
play football.
Should be noted that Juju, after the game, was doing an interview.
I know what you
I know where
And
you're going.
Antonio Brown
In the background.
was yelling in the background, "Karma!"
Yeah.
They loved that hit.
And let me tell you why. Let's just put it all out there.
Yeah.
If me and Eric Davis is walking into our locker room after delivering one of those hits,
Yeah.
I may be getting a nice little gift this week.
He celebrated.
I'm celebrated. I'm celebrated for that.
And look, and I'm just going to keep it all the way 100. There are pictures of Burfict stretched out on that stretcher getting passed around among Pittsburgh Steelers players. Burfict has a history. He had the dirty hit on Antonio Brown
Karma.
that cost them a playoff game. And so, you know, we're trying to present this very sanitized game that everybody who has a casual interest in football will love. Preach the game to me. I love football. Don't worry about the casual fan.
Ratings up 30% for the game. America loved it. Whitlock, you expect the physical play from last week to carry over to this game, Ravens?
Yeah, it's going to carry over, but the reason why there's that respect there is because when Ray Lewis and Ben Roethlisberger shook hands, they both had championship rings on their on their fingers. They both have won Super Bowls. They don't respect the Cincinnati Bengals. They haven't won a Super Bowl.
And Pittsburgh has dominated that series.
Yeah.
Even in Cincinnati, Cincinnati can't win at home in that series.
You know, I'm gonna let you take over this one since you lived it, but I always say rivalries only happen when I beat you or you beat me when it matters. And Pittsburgh and Baltimore, I said it was the best rivalry in football because those guys were playing for a playoff spot. They were playing for a home field advantage. A lot of times they were playing for the championship. Whoever won that series, those 3 games they were normally playing, had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So that right there is something that Cincinnati hasn't brought to the table. So it's just a different level between those two teams.
96, 97, 98, my first 3 years, I saw a culture in Baltimore that did not exist. I was playing in Pittsburgh and watched the culture of Steeler Nation. I went to Ozzie Newsome and said, I need that in Baltimore. How do I get that? You know what he told me? Go take it. 1999, we go in Pittsburgh. 2000, lead the first game of our Super Bowl. We lose Jamal Lewis. Priest Holmes stepping down. Pittsburgh get the ball on the 1-yard line and get 8 tries at it. They didn't make it. The culture changed. And that's when they knew that we was dead serious about taking what we wanted from them.
And Cincinnati's never created that.
And they
that's
never
what I always say.
created
They haven't created that
Or
yet.
with us.
And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to take that. No one
Take
gives
it.
you that.
And so when you talk about tonight, when you talk about this game that's coming up this week, let me tell you what you're gonna get. They know what you're gonna get. Baltimore, the way that defense is playing football right now, you talking about sitting down for this one? Because I want to see this offense deal with this defense. I want to see Pittsburgh's offense deal with the Ravens' defense. Because what I created years ago, was we went into Pittsburgh, and I never forget it. Franco Harris and all these guys sitting in the sideline. And I picked up some dirt, and I put it in my pads. And I said, damn it, this is going back to Baltimore. I need this here in Baltimore.
And and one last thing, and part of the reason, as physical as those series are, and the reason I don't think they are chippy, is because there is not this little brother complex. in either team.
Yeah.
They both know who they are.
Grown men.
They both, and that's just it. Absolutely.
Grown men.
They're grown men out there. playing.
We got to be very quick.
Yeah, please.
It bothers me. I want to know how it strikes you. They trying to compare Vontaze Burfict to you. That he's Cincinnati's version.
No, he didn't. I'm not. I won't let that get away. He just said some comparisons about being the leader, whatever. I like what the kid does on the field. I really do. I wish we talked. He was supposed to follow up. I wish we talked because he could be really, really good if he just got rid of all the other stuff. But yeah, great.
All right.